Why are we so excited? Why are we wearing rugby jerseys?
Boom, boom, boom.
I think the whole world is wearing rugby jerseys. Why? Because yet more rugby history, more lore will centre on the Springboks this weekend as they battle the legendary, the much respected Barbarians rugby club here on South African soil. Get it for the first time.
Bro, this is a big one, hey? How cool is this? You know this is big. You know the history involved in this one as well. So you know that we need to show up, Mzansi.
Yep.
And Rassie has come through and put what I think is an absolutely incredible squad for this. A big one at that too, right?
Completely. And I know we're missing a couple of the Bulls players. I mean, they were in URC action and club action beyond that right up until kind of like last week, Friday, pretty much. So we understand, but it's given an opportunity for some young players. And Rassie has named 4 uncapped players to cut their teeth in what looks like a pretty top draw Springbok side. I don't think we're missing anyone in any position. So let's start up front. He must be terrified. One of the newcomers, Asanaji Kabakanye. He, I think, will have enjoyed starting his tuition under Rechejo Faditswe, Ox in Chair, and Malcolm Marks. What a way to get into the game.
Bro, what a lineup in terms of like getting ushered in by the pros. It cannot get better than that. I mean, you're literally walking into a row of perfection almost.
Well, it's like you're in the bomb squad and we're going to start with the bomb squad. Go.
Oh, that's physical, mental pressure, but clearly the man's ready for it because Rassie can see the potential in these players. So
completely.
I cannot wait to see that shot. But it doesn't stop there, right? Obviously, we've got Sia, all right? We've got our captain with Jean-Luc Dupré, as well as the big Vincent Chituka, sorry. And
So
that's going to be
happy for him,
at number 7, roaming with the loose forwards. And that's going to be a proper setup, I think, as well. If you look at the expertise that we have there, there's so much to play off for these youngsters.
Completely. And they will be in the back line as much as they are around the fringes, I have no doubt. Now, I love the fact that Sia does like to pop up and we bash up with our loosies, but these guys play such utility roles all the time now. We'll get onto Vincent Tutuka in just a moment, but I'm so happy that he's got his call-up. He's been like the standout player for me in the Sharks. Absolutely awesome. And this is really, really big for us. After a procession of heartbreaking injuries, finally, Lute Jager is back. He must be chomping at the bit to settle in next to, I would imagine, a very Irish battle-hardened Jean Klein from Munster.
I've missed this guy, G. And you saw the potential he had up until those injuries. And he's clearly got a little bit more experience. You check the beards come through. That's showing I've leveled up.
Well, that's extra knockout capability, I think. What I loved about him, as we saw Peter Steff kind of level up his game, Lute was like, okay. And he just joined him in that space. And again, the term utility. There is so much we can get out of a player like that. We love it. Oh, can we talk about the back line just a little bit?
I'm always getting excited about the back line.
You would be the slowest person on that back line, which is hilarious to me.
And I'm not even upset about it. I mean, we're talking about some superstars that we already know. We've got Cheslin Colby, we've got Kurtley Orense in the mix as well. But it doesn't stop there because Apalila Fasi has also been showing up in the air, on the ground, the stepper, and he's quite big for a backline player, so he's bringing like a lot to the party.
If you had to write down on paper what you'd want out of a number 15, tall, good under the high ball, exciting, and remember, we've got a history, a tradition when it comes to fullbacks and playmakers. These guys need to be able to do a little bit of everything, but also be able to step into kind of a fly-half ability to control the way a game goes, because often it falls back there. If you're in a defensive mindset, if it's a big kicking game, suddenly your fullback's got to play a pivotal role like your number 10, so I cannot wait for that. But of course, despite all those superstars, I think most of us are going to be looking in one particular channel.
There's a young superstar, bro.
That number 10 lies. Of course, Sasha Feinberg and Goma Zulu. He has been in a class of his own now that he is finally getting to play and build let's call it a body of work on the field, a highlights reel for YouTube, because he has been amazing.
Dare I say it? There's this Dan Carter-esqueness about him.
For sure.
And he's so young, he's showing all the promise of an absolute legend in the game, but he's literally just getting started. I don't know if he did like a brain transfer and took some took someone experience and popped it in.
For the last 2 years, all of these players have been a genetic experience.
He looks like he's been playing for decades, man. He looks seasoned and he still has that vibrance. He's still bringing something new to the game, which I think our entire team is going to absolutely feed off of.
Well, and he's going to feed off that and back into it. Imagine with those players around him. Absolute magic. With those guys on the wings. Oh, come on, just get out of town. But I think we have to go back to a couple couple of standouts, and one of the call-ups for me, Asenate and Klabakanya, I think must be breaking it. I mean, how do you step into that level of elite play? Obviously getting now his doctorate alongside Oxenchair and Malcolm Marx, but what a deserved opportunity. The art of the tight, and he also, I'm sure, gets some tips for the deft foot, looser foot art in open play. But I like the fact that Rassie has rewarded players for their efforts and their progress, even if their teams haven't necessarily done so well.
Bro, absolutely.
Coming from the Lions.
Look at the Lions, look at the Sharks. You had that star-studded lineup of like South African players, but you still got some of these youngsters showing up, and I think almost having to step up to compensate for that fatigue that we spoke about off camera. I mean, our SA players have been going through an entire season here.
I think that was the Sharks jumping off point, unfortunately. As good as these players are, how can they not be exhausted after the amount of rugby that they are playing? Absolutely incredible. So here's the good news. You could be getting there to see these subplots, these little dramas play out. There are 4 double tickets up for grabs to the Springboks up against the Barbarians at the DHL Stadium in Cape Town. The first ever clash here on South African soil. So we want to find out from you what, Mr. Dumone?
Oh, man. So listen, all you got to do is tell us who will you be taking with to the match.
Me,
it really is that
obviously.
simple. Right? You can definitely say myself or G-Man. We won't complain about that. But whether it's a family member, your loved ones, or your biggest rugby friend, it doesn't matter.
Take your rival. Take your worst rival with you. Turn it around.
And maybe even show us if you're going to be dressing up and doing something crazy. But we want to know from you who you're going to be taking with to this epic clash. There are 4 double tickets available, and DHL Stadium in Cape Town is where it's going down. So come through. We've got our Expresso, Facebook, and X pages that you can answer this one on. And T's and C's do a fly. You can find it at expressoshow.com.
Don't worry, you be having your free tickets. I'm going to be buying a box, okay, for the next 4 years.
How are you going to do that, bro?
I'm going to win the lotto. I'm going to find a push and play.